There's a glaring paradox right at the center of modern AI code generation. Large language models have gotten remarkably proficient at writing code that just works. They pass unit tests, they solve the functional requirements, but they struggle immensely to write code that runs efficiently. We've built systems that generate correct logic, sure, but they routinely churn out complete computational deadweight. A model will happily write a massively nested loop to parse a huge dataset when a simple hash map would have done the job. It passes the test, but fails the harsh reality of production.
The actual magnitude of this gap is pretty stark. Take Claude 4.5 Sonnet on the SW efficiency benchmark. It produces correct patches 81% of the time. But of the available execution speedup an expert human would achieve, it captures just 4.1%. That tiny percentage is the delta between amateur brute force and senior-level optimization. The model solves the problem, absolutely, but it does it using unoptimized pathways that a seasoned engineer would flag in a code review immediately.
A recent paper from Metafair isolates this exact problem. The researchers state it plainly. Training for correctness has not made code models reliably fast. For years, the reinforcement learning pipeline for code has relied on RLVR, or reinforcement learning with verifiable rewards. This standard approach treats execution mostly as a binary verifier. A program is generated, it runs against hidden test cases, and if it passes, the model gets a reward. But correctness is not efficiency.
This matters deeply because of scale. A loop that runs in O of n squared instead of O of n might pass a unit test in a sandbox just fine, but deploy that generated code to a cloud environment processing millions of rows, and that algorithmic inefficiency translates directly into immense physical costs. We're talking wasted GPU hours, massive server overhead, and completely unnecessary energy consumption. Moving from standard reinforcement learning with verifiable rewards, where tests are just pass or fail, to optimization RL, which continuously measures execution time, isn't just an academic exercise. It's a financial imperative for the industry.
The meta-researchers recognized early on that simply adding execution time to the reward signal actually fundamentally breaks the reinforcement learning process. Timing is inherently noisy. Sandbox CPU cycles aren't deterministic. Network latency fluctuates unpredictably. The reward becomes sparse and confusing for the model. To make execution time genuinely learnable, they developed the DMC-Optim solution. They broke the problem into 3 distinct stages: pre-execution, intra-execution, and post-execution. The first mechanism, the pre-execution filter, operates basically like a bouncer checking IDs at a door. Before a block of generated code even gets to run, the system filters the optimization tests. If a benchmark test can be solved by a completely unoptimized script in 1/10 of a second, the timing data is useless noise. The system filters those right out, demanding workloads that take at least 2 seconds of compute to prove their worth. The bouncer keeps the trivial tests out, ensuring only workloads with enough computational weight make it through to the model.
Next is the intra-execution limit, which functions as an accelerating treadmill. The code is placed on the treadmill and forced to run the optimization tests under strict time constraints, which are derived directly from expert human references. If the code is structurally inefficient, it just can't keep up with the pace. It hits a hard timeout and fails entirely. It's a literal efficiency constraint applied relentlessly while the code is running in the environment.
The final mechanism is the post-execution rank, acting as a race timing board. Instead of receiving a simple binary pass or fail, the surviving code is ranked against a historical distribution of human programmers who solved the exact same problem. So the reward function isn't just a basic +1 for passing. It's a scaled numerical float based on the percentile rank achieved against that human distribution. The generated code has to actually compete for its score. Now, a skeptic will rightly point out that execution time is highly volatile. Server loads fluctuate, sandbox scheduling adds jitter, and reinforcement learning is notoriously unstable when rewards are noisy. Here's the part that's easy to miss. If you naively reward speed, the model just learns to write fast but broken code. It essentially becomes a highly confident intern who produces the wrong answer at record speed. A reward system that praises speed without strict correctness guardrails completely destroys a model's baseline ability to write functioning logic.
The trade-off we're left with is absolute. Pure correctness has zero measurement noise, which makes it highly stable. Naive duration is full of jitter and destroys correctness. The Meta team solved this using a gated optimization reward. They built an offline simulator to predict the most promising configurations, carefully screening out environments where small sandbox perturbations overwhelm the signal.
They also adapted Group Relative Policy Optimization, or GRPO. This training algorithm evaluates multiple generated responses against each other to calculate an advantage, and they calibrated it to handle zero-advantage batches, those frequent, frustrating moments during training where not a single generated rollout manages to solve the problem efficiently.
When you apply this, the optimized environment yields distinctly measurable results. On the strict top 50% pass rate, meaning the code has to be correct and rank in the top half of historical human speeds, the Quen 2.57 billion parameter model jumps from 18% to 31.3%. The larger CWM 32 billion model rises from 30.7% to 50.4%. That jump represents a profound shift in capability. The model is actively learning to write leaner, professional-grade code.
Worth sitting with for a second. At the much stricter top 30% pass rate, the CWM 32 billion model sees a massive 125% relative improvement compared to standard reinforcement learning. And crucially, it achieves this while keeping its pure correctness scores entirely stable. It didn't forget how to write working code, it just learned how to stop wasting CPU cycles.
The Python code snippets generated during training reveal exactly where standard reinforcement learning breaks down, and how optimization RL forces actual algorithmic improvement. Standard RL-VR training often just teaches a model to cheat the clock. It learns to strip away benchmark wrappers or bypass system standard outbuffering to shave off milliseconds. But executing the DMC-Optim pipeline using a command like python run dmc.py/model cwm32b/task live codebench/enforce strict timeout forces a totally different outcome. Judges evaluating blinded code pairs found the models were making genuine structural changes. In a function like solve_n_a, instead of relying on a standard O of n squared list traversal, the model actively imports the heap queue library and structures a priority queue, dropping the algorithmic complexity down to O of n log n. It learns to swap lists for heaps, remove redundant nested loops, and apply strict mathematical shortcuts to tighten the asymptotic complexity. It is writing fundamentally better software.
We see this validated objectively on the Live Code Bench out-of-distribution transfer check. Live Code Bench is a continuously updated dataset of coding contest problems published strictly after the model's training cutoffs. It tests genuine generalization, not memorization. The CWM32B model trained with optimization RL beats the standard RL-VR baseline in up to 83% of median sample speed comparisons on these unseen problems. This metric matters immensely because it proves the model hasn't just memorized the syntax of fast code, it has internalized the core principles of efficient computation and can apply them to completely novel logic puzzles. It dominates the head-to-head performance metrics precisely because it understands how to optimize memory and execution time on the fly.
The empirical facts place us right here. These models are now closing in on about half the human rate of complexity class improvements, achieving 14% against the fastest human submission's 28%. Even when the timing sandbox is artificially degraded to introduce noise, robust optimization RL still yields a 100% to 200% improvement over standard methods. However, the system does have a distinct breaking point. The open challenge remains scaling this from single-file competitive programming tasks to massive, multi-file repository workloads. Tracing execution time across hundreds of interconnected microservices introduces so much variance that the signal-to-noise ratio completely collapses. Profiling at the repository scale is simply too computationally expensive to simulate across thousands of reinforcement learning episodes.
The steep drop-off in the result graphs from pure correctness down to the strict 30th percentile of execution speed echoes our opening reality. Turning time into a reliable, learnable metric is incredibly difficult. AI can generate code effortlessly, but coaxing it to discover the most optimized algorithm requires a meticulously calibrated environment, one where execution speed is strictly gated by correctness, and human baselines set the standard. The code works, yes, but how long until it works as elegantly as an expert who intrinsically understands the cost of a single wasted cycle?
Thanks to Max member Hans-Jörg Zeller at HZeller. Enjoying the show? Join the channel, Plus, Pro, or Max, for early access, shoutouts, and more. Based on Reinforcement Learning for Code Optimization by Pierre Chambon, Kunhao Zheng, Juliette Decugis, Benoit Sagot, Gabriel Siniov. Informational only, not advice. Enjoyed it? A share or subscribe helps a lot. Thanks for listening. See you next time.